Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
It's Friday. Good morning and welcome into WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. It is September 4th.
And our time now is coming up on 6:31. A man has been rushed to the hospital in Lexington after being stabbed multiple times.
We are learning more about a late-night bus crash in Rowan County that sent a child to the hospital.
And also in Rowan County, the clerk's office will be opening up at 8 this morning, and couples are expected to start lining up, hoping to receive long-awaited marriage licenses. We'll have a report from there.
And it's all about a taste of summer here on this September day, as we're likely tracking more September steam. Isolated showers and thunderstorms around through the weekend and slow changes ahead. That means we're going to stay in this pattern all the way through next week. I'll break all of that down coming up for you too in just a few minutes.
Happening today, all eyes on the Rowan County Clerk's office this morning when it opens in just a couple of hours.
5 deputy clerks are expected to start issuing marriage licenses this morning as their boss, Kim Davis, sits in a Carter County jail cell. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is live at the clerk's office in Moorhead, and it's been a long wait for some of these couples. Hillary, what do we expect to happen this morning?
Good morning, Bill and Rebecca. It's obviously pretty calm out here right now, but that is expected to change in just a little bit over an hour when the Rowan County Clerk's office here behind me opens up and deputy clerks start issuing marriage licenses. While 5 of the 6 deputies did agree to comply yesterday, their boss, Clerk Kim Davis, is sitting in the Carter County Jail. Her attorney says it is the first time an American has been jailed for believing in their conscience and a principle that is protected by the Constitution. During Kim Davis's contempt hearing in federal court yesterday, Judge David Bunning told her to issue marriage licenses or go to jail. So the clerk chose jail, saying issuing licenses to same-sex couples went against her religious beliefs. The judge then held her in contempt of court, saying he did not make the decision lightly, but that her faith was not a viable defense. All but one of Davis's deputy clerks later told the judge they will issue marriage licenses. The lone holdout was her son. Judge Bunning then offered Davis a compromise that she would be released from custody if she would not interfere with her deputies, but Davis still refused and was then taken into jail. The couples who sued Davis say they will not waste any time getting a marriage license in Rowan County. We, of course, will be here as that office opens at 8 o'clock this morning. We'll keep you updated on everything that happens throughout the day. And as always, you can find a thorough breakdown of this case on WKYT.com. For now, live in Rowan County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Hillary, thank you. Kentucky's gubernatorial candidates and the current governor are sounding off about Davis's arrest. Governor Steve Beshear said the judge's decision speaks for itself, and Davis's future is a matter between her and the courts. In addition, he stressed once again he will not call a special legislative session because of it. And Republican candidate for Governor Matt Bevin said Governor Beshear could have removed the names of county clerks from marriage licenses and kept Davis out of jail. Bevin says if he's elected, he would do that. Democratic candidate Jack Conway would not talk on camera about Kim Davis, but he did release a statement saying, quote, "I understand that passions are high on both sides of this issue, but we are a nation of laws and no one can defy an order from a federal judge."
And others around the country also weighing in on Kim Davis being taken to jail. White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest said no public official is above the law. Republican candidate for president Mike Huckabee tweeted that he's headed to Kentucky on Tuesday to stand with Kim Davis. You'll find much more coverage of the Kim Davis case on our website. Go to WKYT.com. New this morning, a man is in the hospital after being stabbed several times. Police found the man inside a car on New Circle Road near the Harrodsburg Road exit ramp. Police are still trying to figure out when the man was attacked. The victim was able to tell them that he did not know his attacker. Forensic investigators did comb through the car trying to see what evidence they could collect.
Lots of questions remaining at that scene this morning. We'll stay on it. And firefighters from 2 different departments came out to help battle a house fire. It was around 3 o'clock this morning when someone noticed a home on Hughes Lane in Jessamine County on fire. The roof of the garage had collapsed. No one was in the home. It was being remodeled at the time. Firefighters had to run thousands of feet of water lines because the closest hydrant was way down the road. The crews on the scene also had to deal with heat and humidity this morning.
A little tough on them tonight, but we've got them in rehab, hydrating them back up and starting to move crews back in and out.
The Nicholasville Fire Department actually had to respond to the scene first because the Jessamine County Fire Department was busy at another scene. We have more information now on a breaking news alert that we brought you last night on our 11 o'clock news. A child was taken to the hospital after a bus crashed in Rowan County.
Authorities tell us no one seriously hurt, but parents telling us they still have a lot of questions about this. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is joining us at our live desk with more on this. What do state police say caused the bus to crash?
Well, Rebecca, new this morning, we now know, according to KSP, that the driver of that bus lost control due to heavy fog. The crash happened at 9:45 last night on Cranston Road, about 11 miles from Moorhead. State police say 18 middle school students and 2 adults were on the bus at the time of the crash. The bus was coming back from a girls' middle school basketball game in Lewis County. State police tell us the driver lost control going off the shoulder of the road and striking a bridge. One student suffered minor injuries and was taken to the hospital by ambulance. The father of that student tells us that other students were brought to the hospital by their parents. No one, however, had serious injuries. Now, no other vehicles were involved in the accident. The accident remains under investigation by KSP in Moorhead. At the live desk, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Well, new this morning, a former University of Kentucky student has been murdered in Texas. Police say 35-year-old Dr. Kendra Hatcher, who's attended UK's dental school, was found shot to death in a parking garage. Authorities are now searching for a Jeep Cherokee and a driver they consider to be a person of interest in the case. A longtime friend of Dr. Hatcher says she found out about her friend's death when she turned on the TV.
And it was on the TV, and I saw her picture pop up, and then they said her name. She was so helpless, she couldn't even do anything, and they shot her and just left her there.
Well, Foley says she thinks whoever killed Hatcher knew her or is linked to someone who knew her. Hatcher grew up in Illinois. Her brother says she loved her job and loved volunteering, especially in Latin America.
The time this morning is 6:38 on WKYT, and happening today, a former UK student accused of putting cameras in women's bathrooms on campus is due in court. 24-year-old Ryan Smith of Garrett County is accused of putting writing pens with cameras inside them in those restrooms. Police say they arrested Smith after a 5-month-long investigation. Smith pleaded not guilty to the charges during a video arraignment from jail. New this morning, a Lexington woman is behind bars after arson investigators say she tried to burn down an apartment. 43-year-old Bobby Woods is charged with arson. Fire investigators say Woods poured lighter fluid around the apartment next to her own on Cross Keys Road. Then they say she went back to her apartment and returned with a lit piece of paper. There was only a small bit of damage to the building. She's to be in court on the charge later today.
A woman has been arrested in connection to a Clay County murder. The Clay County grand jury indicted 22-year-old Ashley Lawson on a complicity to commit murder charge. She's the ex-girlfriend of the victim, Trevor Dykes. Police say Dykes and Lawson were in a custody battle over their son. They say Thomas Miracle paid Roscoe Henson $5,000 to kill Dykes. Henson is charged with murder and Miracle with solicitation to commit murder. Later today, a community will honor a Franklin County teenager who died while fighting encephalitis. A balloon release is to be held today for 16-year-old Bradley Kamick. That will be this morning at 8:30 at Sauer Field. Doctors diagnosed the teen with the disease after he collapsed on a soccer field last month. He died Wednesday at Kentucky Children's Hospital. Kamick was a student and a soccer player at Frankfort High School. A Pulaski County man who died in a lawnmower accident will be laid to rest tomorrow. 30-year-old Jacob Nykirk was killed when he was mowing a lawn near a cliff, and his riding lawnmower went over the embankment on Wednesday. His visitation will be Saturday from 2 until 4 at Oak Hill Baptist Church in Somerset, and his funeral will follow right after. His family will bury him at the Bishop Family Cemetery in Somerset. An update this morning on a crash investigation in Bell County. Police tell us the man who caused a crash that injured himself and 2 others was wanted out of Tennessee. Dustin Thompson was wanted on a parole violation from a robbery. Police say early yesterday morning, Thompson drove away from a traffic stop and led officers on a chase before crashing north of Pineville. Well, dozens of people attended a hearing in Lexington about a proposed regulation that would strengthen protections for surface and groundwater. The government says the proposed stream protection rule would protect waterways from pollution caused by coal mining. Some lawmakers and environmentalists are split on the issue. Leaders have planned out 4 more meetings to discuss the proposed rule.
A bridge over Harrington Lake is closed for now for emergency repairs. That's according to the State Transportation Cabinet this morning. Leaders say inspectors found significant deterioration of a deck support on the Kennedy Mill Bridge between Garrett and Mercer counties. No word on how long the repairs will take, but detour routes are in place. State Highway 152 uses the bridge to cross the lake there. Well, as many of you start your Labor Day travel plans, remember that this weekend is one of the busiest of the year. Analysts say about 35 million Americans will go somewhere on vacation this weekend. And the U.S. Travel Association is estimating those people will spend about $13.5 billion. Drivers are expected to spend an average of $270 on their weekend road trips. A lot of folks have saved up to have a good time on the Labor Day weekend.
Oh, yeah, it's good to just enjoy that last little spring of summer.
Relax a little bit, and everybody be safe out there. All right, it's 6:41. Let's check live drive traffic this morning and see what is going on. Of course, we know that with the holiday travel picking up like that, we'll see local impact from that, and our interstates will be busy as the day goes along. And we're looking at the interstate right now.
I'm not really seeing any hazards. Traffic appears to be smooth along the I-64, I-75 split. Just watch out for some heavy traffic later today, of course, as everybody gets ready to travel for Labor Day.
As you mentioned, of course, the ball game tomorrow at Commonwealth Stadium, and that will have a significant impact out in the south end of Lexington, certainly. All right, much more news coming up on your Friday morning as we roll toward Labor Day weekend on WKYT.
A baby beluga whale made an adorable debut during a Connecticut press conference. We'll show you more of this curious little guy after the break.
And we'll be tracking those steamy conditions through your Labor Day. Labor Day can have anything. Chilly weather, steamy weather. This year, we get the steamy weather. We'll have daytime highs around 90. We'll take a closer look coming up.